Are getting Nvidia's results right now, and I'll just read out the numbers to you. On the top line, revenue coming in more than expected, $22 billion for the fourth quarter. That's higher than the $20.4 billion that the market was looking for. In data center, which of course is the business, the generative AI business, that coming in higher at $18.4 billion. The market was looking for $17.2. So a beat and a beat there. Now to the outlook. They see first quarter revenue, $24 billion plus or minus 2%. That compared to the estimate of $21.9 billion. So we're seeing the stock a little bit under pressure. I'm seeing it on my screen gaining modestly as the data center revenue beat estimates. We're going to watch that because that initial reaction, I mean, who knows how it could shake out. We are just getting the numbers. The initial take, top line beating expectations, data center revenue beating expectations. Outlook for the first quarter, higher than expected, though, Eric, as you pointed out, we got to see what the whisper number was. I'm saying it against official consensus, but there certainly was a lot of hype going into this. You're seeing the stock kind of bounce all over the place, Eric.
Yeah, the whisper numbers that I saw coming into today were for 22 to 23 billion for the most recent quarter and 24 to 25 billion for the April quarter. So they squeaked in on both. And that's why I think the stock is kind of hovering kind of near break even. It was up, now it's down, came back up a bit. I mean, we'll have to see how this plays out. But I would have loved as a shareholder to see them come in, like 20 at the high end of those whisper numbers, 23 billion for the current quarter and then 25 billion for the coming quarter. But it's pretty darn close, and especially when they put the plus or minus 2% caveats in there. So bottom line, these are good numbers. I think we're going to have to wait for the call, wait for kind of the language that Jensen used on the last earnings call. Jensen was asked point blank by one analyst, whether he sees the demand for AI slowing down in the quarters to come, and he said absolutely not. And just like that one throwaway comment was enough to kind of like shoot some life into the stock after hours.
The comment in the statement is that AI is at a turning point. I don't know how much more of a turning point it can be, because just to put these numbers in perspective, I'm saying them, beats relative to expectation. We're talking about fourth quarter revenue that increased 265% from last year. We're talking about data center revenue that is a record and increased 409% from last year. These are astounding growth numbers. But, there's the details, right, Ivana? And I think, do you have a sense, do shareholders have an adequate sense of how much concentration risk maybe there is on their customer base? Like, who is driving this? At some point, the quote unquote hyperscalers, they're going to be done, right? Where does it come from outside of 3 or 4 hyperscalers?
Well, that's spot on, Amber. Hyperscalers have been really driving the demand in the past few quarters. However, we do see enterprises come to the market as well, and also governments will come to the market. So there are many different parts of the market that could drive further upside, but those could take a little longer to play out than hyperscalers, where this is core to their business to resell this as a service.
How do you think about that, Eric, that issue that it's a small group of people, not small, they're huge, but small in terms of numbers, group of people that are really driving this growth?
Yes, but they in turn serve like the small enterprises like EMJ Capital or whoever is trying to figure out how AI can unlock their businesses. And so as customers flock to those, to use AWS to try to figure out how to more efficiently, serve up their, power their e-commerce business or whatever, what have you. I mean, that is in turn going to fuel the demand for the Nvidia chips.
I'm actually not even surprised. I know the options market was pricing in like an 11% move in Nvidia, and so far we haven't come close to that kind of swing. And it reminds me, Ivana, of the last time Nvidia reported quarterly results, because there was a run-up into it and it was amazing, but there was just kind of a, okay. The stock was kind of flat for a while before it took off. It almost takes off absent news as people kind of sit with and are told more about just how game-changing this could be?
That's right, Amber. So the way this works is basically as analysts are revising their numbers, especially on the buy side, that's when you're going to see the stock move up significantly. And then as you go into the quarter, estimates are already pretty high. So expectations were pretty high here. That's basically how it's going to work. But you do see, like, if there is upside to earnings and the multiple is reasonable, you will see upside in the stock price. It's really as simple as that.
We got to talk about China, because even though data center sales came in a lot more robust than expected, sales to China declined in the fourth quarter. And of course, that's due to U.S. government licensing requirements and issues. How do you think about that China piece, Ivana?
Well, Nvidia was restricted from the China market for most part of the fourth quarter. So we do see them coming up with products that will be able to serve that market into 2024. So we do see upside actually from China compared to last year.
They did note that data center sales to China declined significantly, so it's interesting to get that perspective. I mean, you look at these results, Eric, the ecosystem's clearly intact, right? AI is still a thing. They showed that in spades. So how are you playing that? Are you remaining invested in Nvidia? Are you looking for other ways to tack on to this AI portfolio, Eric?
I am. I think we're going to be up tomorrow based on this initial results and the guidance for next quarter. I think it's interesting. You said the option market had priced in a 10% move. We did get an 11% retracement since Friday morning up until the lows of today, actually. So it's kind of interesting that we got that before the earnings report. So I think there'll be a sigh of relief. People will bid this up tomorrow. I own names like Supermicro and Vertiv, who reported
Can we talk
this morning.
about Supermicro?
Sure.
Like, that's insane. That's an insane move for the stock. Is that real?
Well, it's.
I mean, it's real in your portfolio, but is that a?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was down like 35% since Friday morning or something. So they've gone in both ways, like on the way up and on the way down. But yeah, they're part of the ecosystem. They are powering the build out of these data centers for these hyperscalers, and they do it in a unique way that is focused on AI and Nvidia's chips. And so if you believe, like, basically we're just in the second inning of kind of the build out that's going to be required for all the enterprises who are going to have to invest in these kinds of projects, then it's still early days. It reminds me, like, people always get excited and people say, oh, it's overhyped, like .com, but the hype around .com was valid. I mean, Amazon is a gorilla today, and so there was sort of hints at that in the 90s. People sort of got that sense of how big this could be. Apple's stock was bid up after the iPhone was rolled out, and it's much more lower then than it is today. And so I think the market is rational in the sense that they know that AI is going to be huge. They know that Nvidia is in the driver's seat here. So there is still a lot more to come.
There's a lot more to come, Ivana. Nvidia is still part of your holding. I imagine that these results did not change your thesis at all, because they did what they were supposed to do. As a refresher, they beat expectations both on the top and the bottom line. Their outlook was higher than expected for the first quarter, though I guess we're still waiting for full 2025. That might come on the conference call, but the market's looking for $96 billion in annual revenue. Just for perspective, in 2023, it was under $30 billion. So just to give you a sense of how fast they're growing. What's your AI portfolio? Top 3, top 4 high conviction ideas in addition to Nvidia?
So, Amber, we really like cybersecurity here, especially post the Palo Alto results. I think people did not understand very well where the weakness came in the Palo Alto results. And we believe cybersecurity will be a big beneficiary from this data infrastructure that will be needed for AI. And another data infrastructure play for us would be Snowflake. That is another top 10 holding for us. We disclose all of our holdings of our ETF on our website, just for full disclosure. But yeah, those would be the three that would stand out.